Hi, I'm Willie Mayette from PianoWithWillie.com, and I want to welcome you to this lesson on scale tricks. Now, I've been wanting to do this lesson for quite a while, and I decided to put this lesson in ahead of some lesson requests because it's such a powerful technique and such a great lesson. Let me explain what these scale tricks are. What if I told you that, you know what, you don't have to learn all of your altered scales and Lydian flat 7 scales and whole tone scales and all of these other scales in all 12 keys because there's an easier way. You'd probably say, well, yeah, show me that easier way. Well, there is an easier way, okay? I still suggest that you learn these scales, but you know what, let's face facts. Trying to learn all of these scales in all 12 keys, right, and being able to retain them so that you can now, boom, right on the spur of the moment, play them, that's difficult, right? What I've devised here over years of playing and teaching is the realization that if you understand your chord tones and your available tensions on your chords, then you can create virtually any scale that you want. And not only will you create scales that are known and loved, like whole tone scales and half whole diminished scales and whatnot, you'll also start to create your own scales. And this is where your playing can really take it some interesting twists and turns and start to sound like your own personal sound rather than just sounding like someone else. So for instance, let me explain. When I have, let's take a C major 7 chord here, I have my chord tones, my root, my third, my fifth, and my seventh, right? And basically what's happening is, I'm going to just double my root up here. Now you see I have some space in here, right? And what I'm going to do is, as I explained in the lesson, these chord tones are like blocks, like bricks on a wall, and you fill the space with mortar, right, or sand or whatnot, okay? So we're going to fill in these, we're going to fill in this space. So which one do I choose here? Which one do I choose here or here? Well, this is where our available tensions come in. On a major 7 chord, we know that we can put in our 9th. So immediately, now we have all of those notes. There's our scale. On the 11th, we know we can choose sharp 11, right? And then on the 6th over here, we know that natural 6 would sound best on a major 7 chord. Okay? So now look at the scale that we have. We've just created a Lydian scale. Created that scale without saying, hey, look, I'm going to create a Lydian scale, right? Now, I've created that scale knowing all of my chord tones and all of my tensions. And what that's done for me now is I have a much clearer idea of what that chord is, what those chord tones are, and what those tensions are. Now, what I'm going to show you in the lesson is that we also want to kind of grab back and claw back to the key. So we want to stay close to the key a lot of times. So if we're in a key of C, obviously F sharp isn't the best choice. This is where F natural comes in. Another good one is when you have a minor chord, do you play it as a Dorian chord or a natural minor chord? That's what I'm going to explain in this lesson. And now, understanding this concept that I'm going to show you, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to say, oh, well, you're going to choose a natural minor, and this is why. You're going to choose a Dorian, and that's why, right? So, as I said in the lesson, I remember getting books and stuff, and you'd have a minor chord, and it would have it all listed out over here. You can do this scale, this scale, this scale, this scale, this scale. And they're right. Sure, you could do all of those scales, but I always wondered to myself, well, really, that's it? Those are my only choices? Of course not. There are scales that you can create of your own. I showed one in the lesson. Isn't that a cool sound, right? And I show you in the lesson how you can create that scale and how, it's actually really quite simple, right? When you stop to think about it. You have your chord tones. I put in a flat 9, a sharp 11, and my 13. Now I should know, and if you don't know this already, check out the piano chord series, but taking a look at that, you know that, oh, hey, those are my available tensions on a dominant 7th chord. Okay? So very, very powerful concept in this lesson, and if anything else, it's really going to help you to understand that chord-scale relationship much better. Because then when you're taking a look at a scale and it says, play that scale over this chord, now you're going to understand a lot better why. All right, so anyway, I hope you join me in the lesson, and I'll see you in the first chapter.